What is going on, Amazon sellers? Happy lazy Sunday, and welcome to the live Amazon Seller Ask Me Anything or Q&A session. My name is Chris Grant at Clear the Shelf on all the social media platforms, and I am here to answer your questions, calm your fears, help you in any way that I can with your Amazon business. And of course, as always, I will bring a tip that will hopefully be helpful to you in the future. So here's the deal: if this is your first time here, my job is to answer your questions. Your job is to drop them in the chat wherever you may be watching from: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. Drop your question in the chat, and we will get you an answer, at least try to get you an answer. So before we dive into anything, I do want to share something that I found pretty interesting, because today is a day when your sales have probably fallen off a cliff, or at least they're down a lot more than you may expect. Well, I did some digging, and I noticed that a lot of products on Amazon now have a delivery date after Christmas, even if they are FBA, if they're at an Amazon warehouse. Now, some folks are still merchant fulfilling, and you may be getting some sales and maybe getting people paying for some expedited shipping, but I would expect your sales to be a bit lower over the next couple of days. However, the interesting thing is that right as Christmas hits, sometime in the afternoon, you're probably going to see sales tick up just a touch. Now, they won't go insane. It's not going to be Q4 all over again, but it is going to be what we might call Q5, because we've got gift card season coming up. And I found some interesting stats about gift card season, and they are that gift cards account for 55% of a shopper's annual gift giving budget. 55% of the money being spent for the holidays for gifts is going to gift cards. That's what people want. And here's some other interesting stats. 75% of the people who redeem gift cards end up spending more than the value that are on their cards. So, for example, if they get a $50 gift card, which I actually have a $50 Lowe's gift card sitting right here on my desk, when I go in, I know that I'm not going to spend $50. It is very likely that I will buy something that is over $50 because, well, I've basically got a $50 coupon. And on average, shoppers spend $59 more than the value of their gift cards. So if you get a $50 gift card, it's very likely that you'll be spending around $109. Now, the last thing I found is that shoppers using gift cards are 2.5 times more likely to pay full price for an item than a customer paying with cash or credit. So, as we go into this slow time, remember that it is just slow for a time. It'll very likely pick back up a little bit, and when people are going to come back to go shopping, it is very likely that if they use a gift card, they're going to spend even more money. So hold on to those prices just a little bit longer. Don't go liquidating quite yet, just to try to get a little bit or whatever capital you can back as quickly as you can. And Rosalind, there are a few Amazon warehouses on strike. Do you think that is going to affect us quite a bit? No, I really don't think so. It doesn't seem to be messing with things too awful bad quite yet. And it looks, from what I saw from several news reports, deliveries were still going out. And it was just a section of the employees. So, and I mean, they even had the police there to let cars through and stuff. So I don't think it's going to be a huge deal, but I'm keeping an eye on it because I'm curious as to what happens and how long they keep going. All right. Now, I don't see very many questions coming in, so I will go ahead and I will share what I've got for you guys today. But before I do that, two quick things. Okay. Number one, in about 2 days, I'm going to be pulling down the webinar that we did about Section 3s. We did a webinar. I actually showed all my documentation so you could copy it basically exactly how I did it when I got my Section 3 and overcame it very quickly. The exact way that others have been doing their Section 3s to speed run. Matter of fact, one person got through in about 4 days. That webinar is going to be coming down. Okay. In 2 days. If you want to go watch it, I know the holidays are right here, but if you want to go watch it either tonight, tomorrow, or Tuesday, you can go to cleartheshelf.com/S3 and you can watch the replay, and then we're gonna pull it down. Now, the other thing I want to share with you is that tomorrow, which is December 23rd, Christmas Eve, we're going to be doing a very special episode of a live Q&A. The reason being is that December 23rd is Festivus. If you're not familiar with Festivus, go and do a Google search. Go watch the Seinfeld episode from 1997 about Festivus, and then come join us. It'll be myself and Chris Rasick, as long as he is well, for a Festivus for the Rest of Us celebration. It's going to be a really good time. I spent all day today putting together the show. It's going to be a ton of fun, and there are going to be some prizes that we'll give away. So want to make sure that that you make it out. We're going to be giving away probably a Keepa Academy, maybe a copy of IP Alert, maybe a copy of the OA Challenge as well. And it'll just be a good time. Okay. Let's see here. Rosalind, should I start sending in my FBM stuff now that Q4 is basically over, or hold on a little longer until mid to end January? I have not stopped sending anything in. So it's, for me, it's time to probably move things on to the warehouse. And Lex, yeah, dude, I still love watching Seinfeld. I watch that show probably once a year, just in the background. It's kind of on a loop with The Office and The Simpsons and Family Guy and a few others. So, Luke, what's going on, man? Glad to see you in here. All right. One last reminder, if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. I'll get to them. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you a little treat for you guys today. The tip that I have for you guys is actually a website. It is flip.com. It's FLIPP.com. The cool thing about this is at over 2,000 stores, they have the sales circulars. Now, we're doing online arbitrage. Is this really a big deal? No, not necessarily, but maybe you want to go and do a little bit of retail arbitrage, or maybe you want a centralized place to know, well, what kind of sales are going on in store, because those are likely going to be replicated online, at least for the most part. So what you can do here is you can come to flip.com and you can put in your zip code. As a matter of fact, this is my current zip code. I'm going to put in my old zip code back in the 614 or Columbus, Ohio. Go Bucks, by the way, an absolute stomping of the Volunteers last night. They volunteered to get beat up. But what we can do here is we can put in our zip code and we can see the sales circulars for the stores in that particular area. Okay. And let's say that we want to look at Meijer, for example. Now, I cannot buy on Meijer because they just don't have an e-commerce footprint yet. But if I were back in Columbus, I would definitely be doing some hybrid arbitrage with Meijer because they do have buy online, pick up in store, at least the last time I checked. And I would also be going into Meijer because I got a couple of things here. Number one, they've got 30% off select Lego sets. And they've got buy one, get one 40% off some trading cards. Maybe I want to do some longer term holds on Pokemon or on Star or on Lego. But they've also got these here. I can do $20 off one general merchandise, apparel, shoes, or health and beauty care item priced $99.99 or more. It's very likely I could find something for $100 or more at the store to pick up and get 20% off. I can clip these with M Perks. All right, that's their royal or their rewards program. When I was in Columbus, I had several of these accounts going. If I was still in Columbus, I would imagine I'd be up to 10 or so accounts with Meyer. And I would be taking advantage of these. I'd make sure. I would imagine. See, it says one Santa Bucks coupon per item, but I would imagine that I could probably use all of these in a transaction, and so I would figure that out as well. Okay. The other thing is they're starting to lower the price on their seasonal items. 30% is not enough for me, so I can keep an eye on how the discounts are going. I'm really looking for 75% off when it comes to seasonal stuff. Like if I want to go load up on candy canes, I'm looking for 75% off or better, and I'll wait out the price tankers and so on. But we can look through a lot of these. In my local Publix, there's going to be what is the buy one, get one free this week. Excuse me. My son got the flu, and I've got a feeling it's going to be going through the house here. I can go to Walgreens and I can see what they're doing with. Let's go to Walgreens real quick. I can go here to Walgreens and I can see, well, what is this one goes until Saturday. What are they doing buy one, get one free on this week? What are they doing buy one, get one 50% off? Where are their discounts? They've got 33% off holiday decor and accessories. They're doing buy one, get one on complete home or Walgreens food storage bags. I saw something a little earlier when I was in here. They were doing buy one, get one 50% off number 7 and Soap and Glory. I also saw a few other things that they were doing buy one, get two free on certain things. So a lot of ways that I could go in here and say, okay, I want to make sure that I'm taking full advantage. Do they still have the extra 20% off on top of these things? I need to go and check. I'm guessing probably not, but I can go and get 40% off my Walgreens stuff. And then are there any coupon codes on top of that? Easy way to look through a ton of stores. And this is especially helpful if you do some retail arbitrage as well. All right. Oh, and this comes with a mobile app. You can download the Flip mobile app as well. All right. Let me get back to answering your guys' questions, and then I'll give you your Sunday back here in about 15 minutes. Paulie, get that. Hey, Chris, hope you're well, brother. I could not be better. Thank you for asking, man. What do you think of order replacements for FBM? Can't find much info as to why they occur, and all I've seen, the tracking shows delivered. Well, chances are it may have shown up damaged or something like that, or maybe they say they lost it. Unfortunately, your policy has to match Amazon, and technically, I think you'd have to ship out a replacement if that's what Amazon has approved. I'd need to double check on that. They really should have to open a return or an A to Z claim on something like that. And if I could, again, I need to do some research. If I could, I would push them toward an A to Z claim over sending out a replacement for free. All right. Druggernaut. What a great username. Druggernaut. I'm doing my Section 3 appeal tomorrow. I have invoices and all my documents in order, but I'm missing letters of authorization from the supplier. Wondering if you had that for yours on any last minute advice. You're not going to need letters of authorization in most cases. You need receipts and or invoices You're going to need shipping confirmation, order confirmation, delivery confirmation, etc. Okay. Um, and that's all you're going to need. Last minute advice: be as clear as possible. I think one of the most important things is, honestly, put everything into one set of documents, not 5 or 6 or 10 different PDFs that you upload. Use separators in between the most important parts, and that will do it. Just make it clean, crisp, and clear, and you should be good to go. Rosalind, in the section 3 video, you mentioned taking photos with the receipt from like Ross. So if I purchase 21 items, take 21 photos, or take, let's say, 4 photos because I can get in all the items in 4 photos. I would take one picture of each different SKU next to the receipt. So let's say that you buy 21 items, but that is 3 units across 7 different SKUs. Well, I would be taking 7 different pictures, 1 unit with the front as well as the SKU label that's on the back of the item from Ross next to the receipt, so that you can see the SKU on their label matching up to the SKU on the receipt. All right. It'll be one picture per SKU. And that's what you need. I would not put them all into one picture, because then you have to explain, if you have an issue, if you have an inauthentic complaint, hey, don't worry about these other 6 items, only focus on this one item. And you can see here it matches this SKU on the Ross receipt. We want to make this as foolproof, as dummy proof, as idiot proof as you possibly can, because you have to imagine that you're dealing with the least trained person at Amazon. And that's how we have to put our things together. Need to reactivate my Mexico account. Any attorney or someone you could recommend? Yeah, you can go to Jeff Schick. Jeff Schick is my attorney. That's jeffschick.com. It's JEFFSCHICK.com. Or Seller Basics. They are also good. Those are the 2 folks that you could go and use, and they'll get you taken care of. It's not going to be cheap. Luke, yeah, absolutely. Juggernaut, you got this. It'll go well. Hey, Christian, what is going on? All right. I don't see any other questions at the moment, but if you have them, I'm going to hang out for another minute or 2, and then we're going to wrap this up so that we can all get back to our families and maybe a little bit of relaxing this Sunday afternoon. All right. Any other questions, thoughts, or concerns I can help you guys with as we get this week, this short week started? All right. Lex, here's a different one. Is there a way to change the default print size when printing FBA labels? Mine somehow changed to 8.5 instead of a 4x6 label. I've wasted tons of labels. Yes, there is a way to change it. However, I don't recall right off the top of my head on how to do that. It's not something I have to do too frequently. And it's not an issue that I've had with Vico either. But I'll tell you what, Lex, shoot me a DM somewhere, or send me an email, and and remind me, and I'll look it up tomorrow and I'll let you know for sure. Christian, do I follow Profit First? I've read the book. It's a good system. I do not follow it to the T. But we do a few things. Like, we put away some money for taxes. We put away a little money for profit taking. We put a little bit of money away for some OpEx. But that's about it. I don't have like 9 different buckets. I think that's crazy. Rosalind, I initially signed up with just my own info. How do I change it to be under my LLC? Can my Amazon and Walmart be under the same LLC? Amazon and Walmart can absolutely be under the same LLC if you would like them to be. However, okay, let me give you a but here. It would not be a bad idea to have two different LLCs, and let me explain why. Okay. If Roslyn Willis One LLC is on Amazon, you can have a bank account for it there. You can have a business credit card. You could get a business line of credit. You could have, multiple trade lines under that LLC. Be able to take full advantage of bonuses for credit cards and so on. You might even be able to get 0% credit cards and roll over any debt that you might need to. Make sure you're doing it responsibly. That's always implied, even if I don't say it. Okay. And then you could have Rosalind Willis number 2 for Walmart. And you could do the exact same thing, a new business bank account, new business credit cards for this new LLC, which means new credit card bonuses, new 0% interest rates on those credit cards, new lines of credit, et cetera, and so on. And so there are good things about having multiple LLCs. Okay. So while you can do it, I would highly suggest that you don't do it. Now, how do you go back and change it? On Amazon, you're going to need to go in to the tax interview, and then you'll need to fill out the tax interview all over again, and so on. Now, most likely, you're also going to need to change the bank account information and stuff like that. But you are a single member LLC. Amazon does also treat those like sole proprietorships because they're typically pass-through entities. But again, talk to a CPA about whatever. But you are going to have to go through the tax interview, put in your EIN and all that stuff. Christian, I opened a Vico account last week, but my concern is that it's another account to worry about in our QuickBooks. Yeah, I totally get that. It is another thing to worry about in QuickBooks. However, you do get a percentage back on everything that you buy through them, and you'll be able to use a different credit card to pay for the shipping. So we use a credit card that gets 3 times points on shipping for Vico. So that's a positive. There are some credit cards like American Express. I don't have an American Express Platinum yet, but it's on the list. And that one gets, I think, either 4x or 5x up to $150K a year for shipping. So it might be worth the hassle. Do you have an SOP for returns once they are sent back to you from the customer? I have not written out an SOP for returns, but I can give you one verbally really quick if you want to take some notes. So very first thing you should do is once you get it back, you should open it up and you should inspect it, okay? Because it could go back into Amazon. Now, if it's FBA, okay? If it's FBM, I would inspect it also because you're going to need to decide, are you filing a safety claim with Amazon for a switcheroo, for them returning something that is materially different, or are you charging a restocking fee? Like, what are you doing with that particular item? Now, and same with FBA. Do you need to file a claim or open a case with Amazon about it being a switcheroo, about them sending you back shoes that, they've obviously worn to mow the grass in 15 or 20 times? Or can it be shipped back to Amazon? Or is it just used and, it's customer damaged and that's just the way it is? And then if it is customer damaged, is it still working? And then you need to decide, am I going to sell this on another platform? Am I going to put it on eBay, Poshmark, etc.? And that's really about it. I don't think it needs to be anything other than that. Juggernaut, Who Moved My Cheese is a good book for Amazon since protecting margin is more important than ever. I agree. Who Moved My Cheese is very good. I actually reread that just recently, and actually I tried to have my son read it as well, but it's a little too early for that. I think I moved him over to Jocko Willink's Way of the Warrior Kid instead. Yeah, Luke. Those are yeah, definitely interesting pros to have multiple LLCs. I've got a friend, and I think he's got like 7 or 8 LLCs. It's been great. I don't believe you do FBM, so there are any. We talked about the benefits there. I do very little FBM, but the benefits there are a few things. Rosalind, I'm fairly new and I don't have a business bank account yet, but I have one credit card that I only use for purchases for the business. Is this okay? Excuse me. I'll be opening up a business bank account within the week. Yeah, it's okay for now. That's okay. I'm not one of those people who are like, hey, if you are not doing this under your LLC and a business bank account and so on, like you can't do this at all. That's silly. Okay. Done is better than perfect. When you can open up a business bank account, if you're keeping funds separate now, that's going to be just fine. Move things over to the business bank account, get a business credit card, et cetera, and so on. It's okay to not have everything set up immediately. Let's see here. Over on Instagram, Mac or HP? Oh yeah, that's a good question. See, I can't find the Section 3 guide. You can, Brian, over on Instagram, you can go to cleartheshelf.com/S3. Cleartheshelf.com/S3, and that will get it taken care of for you. Sorry, let me type it over here in Instagram as well. There you go. I popped it in the comments. Potato. Amazon just lost my FBA shipment. Do you use a reimbursement service or file it yourself? Right now, we're filing those ourselves. Opening up a case or reconciling, letting them, sending them in everything. So we're sending in order confirmation, receipt, delivery confirmation. We're also sending in the information from the actual shipment. I'm blanking. I'm sorry. It had been up since like 5:30. Anyway, the information from the actual shipment, we're printing that off, sending that in with it, and just handling those ourselves. Do you need QuickBooks day one? No, you don't need QuickBooks day one. It's not a bad idea because it will help you take care of your accounting in a nice, clean way. It'll give you a P&L, etc. But it's not necessary. You can get by without it, as long as you're keeping track of your profit and loss somewhere. If you download a spreadsheet on accounting. So like if we just do a quick Google search here, accounting, here, we'll do this. We'll do e-commerce accounting Google sheet. Let me go to Gumroad real quick here. I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you guys some marketplaces here. But we could go to a place like gumroad.com. And here, let me go to and let's do e-commerce accounting sheet. Okay. And we could probably find here an actual spreadsheet for accounting. Okay. And we'll take out, let's take out e-commerce. So we'll just do accounting. There's going to be some sort of sheet here that will, help us with our accounting. All right. There's a few other marketplaces you could check. You could go to Fiverr and see if someone is selling their services there to set you one up. You could go into ChatGPT and you could ask it to help you create a Google sheet for for keeping track of all your expenses and keeping track, that would be good to send your accountant. But QuickBooks will be worth it as well. Lounger, recently I've been unable to get Amazon to credit me anything at all on returns. Once something gets counted as customer damage, they can literally return a TV with a marble in the. That is true. The customer damaged are very, very difficult. Those ones are tough. You're just going to have to keep fighting, or you're going to maybe have to hire a service to bang their head against Amazon's wall rather than you. Drug or not, I have a hunch that reimbursement services and any kind of case asking Amazon for things makes you more on the radar for Amazon to review you. Uh, Maybe. I don't know. I like putting on my tinfoil hat. And that's one that I haven't really thought about quite yet. It kind of goes along the same line as if you've got an Amazon loan, you're less likely to get suspended. And while anecdotally it sounds good, I'm not sure that there is evidence over a large enough swath of sellers to make it true. Let's see here. What are your go-to filters in Keepa Product Finder? We've actually talked about a couple of those, and unfortunately, I don't have time to get into them today because we're a little over already. But I'll bring up another Keepa Product Finder later this week. We're going to be off on the 24th and the 25th. We're doing a 90 days live here at least. So I'll be bringing a lot more Keepa Product Finder stuff. So we'll do one on like the 26th. Is there a software that will do Amazon and Walmart bookkeeping? Yeah, QuickBooks. QuickBooks will do that. Have you ever done an in-depth Fear Jeff email to help change a bad Amazon policy? I've been thinking of doing one of those for high pricing errors on collectibles that make no sense. Dear Jeff. Freudian slip on that Fear Jeff. That's funny, man. No, I haven't, because I do not have any expectations of the executive team. I don't trust that they will really be receptive to ideas from a nothing like me. It would never hurt. Like, maybe someone listens to it, maybe it's helpful down the road. My own cynicism has kept me from doing it. So, all right, guys, one last reminder: we're going to be doing something very special, very fun tomorrow night, December 23rd. That is Monday, December 23rd. It is a Festivus for the rest of us, and my sesquipedalian co-host Chris Rasick will be with me. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a lot of laughs and a little bit of fun to get us into the holiday spirit. And again, we're going to have some prizes, some giveaways, and some things for you guys. Show up at 5:30. Come have a laugh or two with us, and let's just have a good time as we get here to Christmas and kind of end out Q4 as we step into Q5. It's going to be a ton of fun. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for a good time. Talk to you guys later.